back to Studio 6. And it's time to make some monkeys. Here's the materials list. And as always, you can find this on my Twitter feed. Well, let's get started with the first monkey. And we'll start with a tiny tile for a foot. This is model 1. I'm going to show you 3 different kinds of monkeys today. And these are the 3 monkeys that I tend to make for all my builds. It's not saying this is the only 3. Might be more out there. Maybe you'll find one. We'll switch to a 1x2x1 wedge of walnut, and that will become the feet. And then we'll slide a 1x1x1 wedge in the middle. Alright, another 1x2x1 walnut wedge. We'll flip it over backwards. And that will become the monkey's back. Another 1x2, we'll flip it over upside down. And that will make our monkey lean forward. And before we slide in the last wedge, we'll go ahead and slide the tiny floor up, get that head situated. Alright, one more tiny floor. And now we can put in this 1x1 wedge. And there we go. The basic shape of the monkey goes in pretty fast. It's just all the detail work at the end that kind of make it a little laborious if you're doing lots of them. Alright, another 1x2. We'll put on the first arm. And one more for the other side. This is the standard Mod 1 pose. As you can see, most of my camera monkeys and the monkey crew here in the studio are this particular model. Alright, we're going to use our tiny tile of elm. I'll put 2 on the front. And one more. That'll give our face a little bit of definition. Now we take a tiny tile of walnut, put it on both sides of the head. Now I'll grab a tiny tile of elm, and that will give us our ears. There we go. And the last tiny tile of walnut, we're going to flatten and slide onto the top of the head, and that'll give us a little bit of a cranium ridge. Alright, last 2 tiny tiles of elm will become the hands. That is certainly one of the more versatile parts about these monkeys. You can move the legs, the arms, and the hands to evoke different postures and emotions. Now I've got a placement block over here. Slide it in off the leg. I tend to use a small floor most of the time, depending on what you're going to do with the tail. Again, the tail can be articulated to show movement. You want to line up at about the middle of the 1x2 wedge near the bottom. And this one's going to be a overtail. You can also do an under. There we go. Take the placement block out. And our Mod 1 monkey is now complete. It's just your standard monkey. And it's still the one that I use probably 80% of the time. This monkey's pretty versatile. We can sit, kick, run, walk. So it will be useful for most of your needs. Now we're going to move on to the Model 2 monkey. The general variance with the different model monkeys is the torso. We all solve different needs. So we're going to pull out these wedges in front of the 1x2 and the 1x1. So before they were flipped opposite, now we're going to take the 1x1 wedge and we're just going to mirror the back side. So the 1x1 goes on the bottom, just like on the other side. And then we'll get the 1x2 and slide it on top. All right, there we go. So with this 1x1 and the 1x2 on top, this particular model allows you to put pants. See, the 1x2s on top can be a shirt and match it with the arms, and the 1x1s on the bottom right there can be colored the same as the legs, and this allows you to do different color pants and shirts depending on your build or what you'd like to do. That's something you cannot do with the Model 1 monkey. So this gives you a little more range. Recently I did a lake competition where most of the monkeys were wearing swimsuits. So this was one I used most of the time for the male monkeys. All right, let's move into the Model 3. So we'll start by removing the top 1x2 wedge from the front torso. And for this particular model, I'm going to pull off the arms to show you the better contrast. This Model 3 monkey is particularly useful for monkeys that have robes or jackets, which you cannot do with the Model 1 and Model 2. My Palace of the Monkey King build, this model is used quite a bit to make the robes. And then I've got a couple businessmen here. All right, we'll slide a tiny floor of walnut in there in the middle. And I've got a few extra pieces over here. Grab a 1x1 wedge of walnut. All right, you can see the torso is a curvaceous shape now. 1x1 wedge, tiny floor, 1x1 wedge. Now I've got some gold 1x2 wedges over here. And the arms will line up perfectly with the hands we already have. There's the other side. Now I'll pull out this back 1x2 wedge. And grab the same color gold so that the arms in the back are one cohesive color. Alright, kind of looks like a tiny little jacket, but it still seems a little odd. Alright. And then if you'll grab the same color of whatever jacket you're making, a tiny tile, and you slide it in on the sides of that tiny floor. Alright, there we go. So now he has a nice little jacket. It's particularly good because you can change the pants, that tiny floor in the middle, along with the 1x1 wedge on top. You can change it to a different color for the shirt. I've used it for Santa Claus and businessmen, in suits, British naval officer. I'm sure there's many, many, many more to be discovered. And then we'll slide our placement block in for the tail. Grab our neon. The neon can be any color. Just whatever you have handy. And we'll do an undertail for this one. Put a couple little zigs and zags. And there we go. Pull out the placement block. Now I think this base here, I think I stopped counting at 100 monkeys. The last build competition had 40. I've just made hundreds and hundreds of monkeys. And we'll finish up. This is the one that I first made. I was working on my zoo build, was making animals for it. And as you can see, the arms and head are unchanged. But there are not separate legs. This is a 1x3 wedge and a couple of 1x2s. It's cute. I like it, but it's very stationary and very limited without the separated legs. All right. Hope you enjoy making monkeys yourself. Thanks for coming. We'll see you next time. Thank you so much.